ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ. Today's Hukamnama is blessing from Sachkhand Shri Harmandir Sahib, composition of Tan Tan Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, who was the fifth Satguru. In today's Hukamnama, Guru Maharaj reveals that God can bring prosperity in our life anytime. God is formless. God is healer of all the illnesses. God is dispeller of all the pains and sufferings. So if we look at the first opening line of the Hukamnama, Guru Maharaj reveals, Gai bahod bandi chhod nirankar dukhdari. Gai means something which has been lost. And bahod means to restore. Bandi means captivity or prison. Chhod means to release. Nirankar, formless God. Dukhdari, who removes all the sufferings. So it's beautiful wisdom Guru Maharaj has given to us today. Although God is formless, but God can remove all our dukh, all our pains and sufferings. Our pains and sufferings only come when we forget God, when our connection with God is gone. So God restores that connection. Gai bahod. Bahod means to restore. Gai means lost. So our connection with God, which has been lost, can only be restored by God. And God can then release us from the captivity of this world, our commitments. There are so many people who are buried under commitments. They don't know what to do. But God can help us to set ourselves free. Karam na jana, dharam na jana, lobhi maya tari. Now, one thing that we must understand is we all had connection with God in mother's womb. Everyone had, no matter what religion, what color of the skin, everyone had connection with God. In other words, everyone was meditating upon God in mother's womb. What was the reason? Reason can be explained simply, very simply. When we are in trouble, nothing works, we approach God. So in mother's womb, there was no help. Mother could not help. Father could not help. There was no access from anyone. But God preserved our honor there. God preserved our honor. God protected us in mother's womb because we prayed to God. We were crying in mother's womb. And it is described in the Gurbani, Tithe tu samrath, jithe koe nae, othe teri rakh agni udar mae. Udar means mother's womb. Agni means fire. So in mother's womb, there was so much fire. There were so many thoughts coming to the mind from previous lives. You know, when you have argument with someone, you can't sleep. Exactly the same way, because of the sins from previous life, soul was being tormented. It was like nightmare in mother's womb. And every one of us was absolutely in agony in mother's womb and prayed to God. So suffering is not bad if it brings you back to adore God. So in mother's womb, when we prayed to God, God came for the help. Tithe tu samrat. No one could help. Mother couldn't help. Father couldn't help. There was no one to help. Only God could help. So we have to assume the same situation, create the same situation, whereby you feel that everyone in this world is there for some time. No one can help us in this life and beyond this life. When we have faith on God, 100% faith, where we see God working in everyone, God helps us through everyone around us because God is present in everyone. But if you rely on people taking God out of the equation, then you are in trouble. Forgetting God brings more and more miseries. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj enlightens us today in the Hukamnama, Gai Bahor Bandi Chhod, Nirankar Dukhdari, Karam na jana, Taram na jana, Lobi Maya Tari. Now, here is the confession. Guru Maharaj is saying, it is not through my knowledge and wisdom I can realize you, God. It is not through my knowledge and my good karmas I can make myself worthy of your blessings. I'm a very greedy person. So karam na jana, I do not know any karam, any action I should take to invoke your mercy. Taram na jana, I do not know what action should I perform to realize you. Lobi mayatari, I'm lobi, I'm greedy. And I am mayatari, I'm stuck in the materialistic commitments, pursuits, I can't get out. नाम पर्यो भगत गोविंद का ए राखो पैज तुम्हारी. One thing I know, I just love adoring you. Like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, when he set out for the missionary journeys, his sister Bebe Nanki realized that Guru Nanak, my brother, he can live without food, but he cannot live without doing kirtan of Akal Purakh Vaheguru. So Bebe Nanki presented her brother with a musical instrument called rabab. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, his words are, Kal Jug mein kirtan pardana, Gurmukh japiye laye dhyan. Doing kirtan, singing God's glorious praises, is the supreme act in this dark age. Gurmukh japiye laye dhyan. The Gurmukhs, they focus on praising God and serving God. आप जपे, आप तरह सगले कुल तारे, हर दरगे पथ से हो जाएंदा. They liberate themselves by singing God's glorious praises and also liberate their companions, people who stay with them, who associate with them. But God, everyone calls me your devotee now. Naam paryo bhagat govind ka. E rakho paj tumhari. You are the one who can preserve my honor. Everyone calls me your devotee, but I know I'm not your devotee. I'm full of evil thoughts, full of ego. I'm stuck in this materialistic world. Please pull me out. Harjio Nimanea tu man, God, you are the honor of the honorless. निश्चीजियां चीज करे मेरा गोविंद तेरी कुदरत को कुर्बान. I have so much faith in you. Nachije, those people who are worthless, no one wants to deal with them. You make them worth. You make them stand out. Those who adore you, the whole world worships them. Je Nanak Satgur Puja, tin har pooj karawa. This is blessing of your devotion. This is the fruit of your devotion. Sacrifice to your greatness and glory. Rahao. Then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj helps us to build our faith in God by saying, like God, you are our Father. We are your children and we make mistakes every moment. No matter how many mistakes a child makes, but Father forgives when child comes back to Father, apologizes. We submit to you. जैसा बालक पाए सुपाई लख अपराध कमावे. Balak means a child. Pae supai means innocently. Lakh means 100,000. Aprad means mistakes, sins. Kar Upadesh. Upadesh means to give advice. Chidka Bopanti. Chidka means to scold. Bohod Pita Gallava. Gal means to hug. Father hugs his child even though child has made so many mistakes, 100,000 mistakes. And this is for the benefit of a child. Although father scolds, but in the end, father hugs the child and forgives all the mistakes. And God, we have faith in you. You are our father. You are going to forgive all our mistakes. पिछले अवगुण बख्श लए प्रभु आगे मार्ग पावे. Please forgive all the mistakes we have made in the past and show us the righteous path, which path we should follow to serve you and become one with you. हर अंतर्जामी सब विद जाने ता किस पे आख सुनाइए. God, you are antarjam. You know everyone's thought, everyone's feelings. Even you know the feelings. You listen to the prayer of an ant that is crawling on the ground. हर अंतर्जामी सब विद जाने. And you know everything. You have solution to every problem. Whom should we go and tell our problems? We do not have to do that. You are solution for every problem we have. You are the source of joy. You are the source of wisdom. कहने कथन न भीजै गोबिंद हर पावै पैज तखाइयै. कहने kathan means to say, to pray. If someone is meditating upon God, God is looking at the intentions of that person. Just by praising God with words, God is not pleased. God knows everyone inside out. We can't be clever with God. Those who meditate upon God to have more and more materialistic pleasures and possessions, God is not pleased with their devotion. But those who pray to live in God's will and in God's presence, God is pleased upon them. They are honored. अवर ओट मैं सगली देखी एक तेरी ओट रहाई है. I have seen everyone in this world, but no one could help me to attain the supreme bliss, the eternal joy, which came through union with you, God. होए दयाल कृपाल प्रभ ठाकुर आपे सुने बिनंती. When God becomes merciful, He Himself listens to the prayers of His devotees. बिरथी कदे ना हो गई जन की अरदास. In Gurvani, Guru Maharaj reveals the prayer of devotee of God is always fulfilled, is accomplished. पूरा सतगुर मेल मिलावे सब चूके मन की चिंती. God helps us to realize the Brahm Gyan. Brahm Gyan is to realize presence of God. पूरा सतगुर मेल मिलावे. Having realized God, all the chinta, all the worries and anxieties, they are dispelled. हर हर नाम अवघद मुख पाया जन नानक सुख वसंती. God blesses us with the blessing of His name so that we abide in peace at all times. The name means that we have desire to serve God. Man chao pya prab agam sunya. We get that chow, the passion to serve God and remain in God's will no matter what happens. Our nature, our behavior and attitude is transformed. In that, we become humble and selfless, content, and serve all with love and compassion. That is referred to as God's name, God's behavior and character. So, in other words, Naam Drida or blessing of Naam means that we inherit God's character, we speak like God, think like God, and act like God. सुनया मन्या मन कीता पाओ अंतर्गत तीरथ मल्लाओ. And this way we bathe ourselves, clean ourselves of the countless sins we have committed from many, many lives. And Guru Maharaj gives us that guarantee. हर हर नाम अवगध मुख पाया जन नानक sukh vasanti. Sukh means peace, vasanti means to abide. Now I abide in peace and I live in God's presence. I can see God in everyone. When someone helps, I know it is God inspiring that person to help. It is not about dishonoring other people, disrespecting other people. It is about recognizing that everyone has God's presence. We have to learn to respect the nature, the water, air. We have seen the change in the climate. Scientists have come up with the figure of 1.5 degree increase in temperature of this system, the solar system, and which is causing the natural disasters. There are wildfires, places are getting flooded, there are earthquakes, tsunamis. It is because we have forgotten to respect God who is present in the water, present in the air. Tu jal thal mahiyal bharpur lina, tu ape sarv swan. Respect all the living beings, respect each other, respect human beings. That is the only way to reach God and be one with God. Jin prem kiyo tin hi prapayo. So forgive all my mistakes. May God bless you all. Remain in Chaddi Kala. Share the Fateh. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. गई बहोड़ बंदी छोड़ निरंकार दुखदारी कर्म न जाना धर्म न जाना लोभी माया धारी नाम परयो भगत गोविंद का हे राखो पैज तुम्हारी वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।